The numbers for exactly how much the Super Mario Brothers movie has made are a little sketchy right now. We don't really have all the information. Not a lot on global money that this movie has made yet. But just on domestic numbers alone, we are at 66 million. This movie is going to crush the estimates of, I think, 140 million people are saying. I think when we get worldwide numbers and all that gets tallied up, I think this movie is going to have a spectacular weekend. I won't be surprised if it makes 300 million. I do think this movie will hit $1 billion. What's really going to get in this movie's way? I mean, there's Guardians of the Galaxy, right? I have some questions about that movie. I really do, based on some of the releases that we've had up to it, like Shazam and Ant-Man. Now, I think Guardians is kind of its own thing, but there is that question in the air now. Are superhero movies still going to do that well? And even if that movie comes out, takes number one, I think Mario still has legs to go for a while, because I do think Guardians of the Galaxy is a family-friendly movie, but it's not as family-friendly as Super Mario Brothers, if that makes sense. Movies like this are perfect to take little kids to. Now, I'm sure a lot of people say the same thing about Guardians of the Galaxy, but if you're a parent, you know what I mean. It's the best way I can explain it. This is through and through a children's movie, the Mario Brothers movie. But it's a children's movie that adults can relate to, because most of the adults taking their children to the movies have played Mario games. Now, this outlet is saying that this is the 66.4 million is the global total for day one. Thursday update with numbers now in for the 44 overseas markets that opened on Wednesday. The Nintendo Illumination Universal Super Mario Brothers movie had a more than peachy debut with 34.7 million through yesterday at the international box office. Combined with Wednesday's domestic total, the global one-day total is 66.4 million. That is pretty impressive. And this isn't everything yet. They still don't have all of the money kind of added up here. It's going to be a little bit more. And now we're on Friday. It's going to be at 100 and something million by Saturday. Saturday, I would expect it to actually hit that number, that 145 million total that it's been estimated to hit. And then Sunday, I expect big numbers as well, because Sunday is Easter. Movie theaters are like one of the only things open on Easter. And I would expect the numbers to climb even higher that day. So this movie's going to make a lot of money. And like I said yesterday, this could be Disney's money if they were smart, but they're not. Some interesting facts about Mario. Apparently, the Mario community as a whole on YouTube is at 100 billion views. Kind of just showing you the power of this character. In some ways, this is what Mickey Mouse used to be. And Mario's always kind of been up there with Mickey Mouse, except this brand has remained strong. The Mickey Mouse brand has not. This is people watching, not playing. Americans now spend about 8 to 12 hours a week playing video games, but a lot of gamers are now spending as much time watching games being played by others. Just interesting stuff to bring into this. Of course, a lot of critics mad about this movie, which I think is hilarious. Some really weird takes out there on this. This article kind of gets it from Lifehacker. The out-of-touch adult's guide to kid culture. Is the Mario movie actually good? I think you have to realize, like, this is a kid's movie. A lot of people just don't understand it. I know a lot of people in Hollywood don't want to watch kids' movies. They want to, relate to cuties. The cuties movies, why they all gave an 85%. Just saying. So, yeah, I think really it's kind of irrelevant. How do the kids feel about it is the honest answer that should be asked of critics. Will kids enjoy this movie? And that's an obvious yes. Young children will love this movie. They're not looking for Shakespearean plot. They're looking for good visuals and a fun time, which they'll definitely get with this. And considering Mario is still played by children, this is a market that Nintendo has always been able to capture. I think I think they will like this movie. One person isn't, and that's CTV News. Movie reviews: the Super Mario Brothers movie has all the charm out of an unplugged Game Boy. And then, of course, everyone dunking on them and pointing out that Game Boys took batteries. They're saying that maybe it's the movie's dead, like an unplugged Game Boy. But either way, it was a fail. Everyone dunked on them. 788 quotes to 129 likes. And let's see, 764 comments to 129 likes. So they got dunked and ratioed. Another person, by the way, getting dunked and ratioed on is John Leguizamo. Now, if you don't know who he is, he's a very woke activist actor. But he also played Luigi in the 90s Mario movie. And if you're thinking that makes no sense because Luigi is Italian, you would be right, but it doesn't matter. That's still what happened. He has come out multiple times shitting on this movie. And the reason he's doing that, ladies and gentlemen, is because he was never called to be in this movie. And the reason he's mad is because, one, he doesn't get a lot of work anymore, so this would have been a payday. Two, it would have also helped boost up his popularity as people would want to know about John Leguizamo. Maybe he could be out there promoting that he's in it and he'd have his name attached to it, making him relevant. Well, he's so damn spiteful. He's out there saying, I'm going to have my name attached to it one way or the other. And what I mean by that is he's out there shitting on it, calling it racist, basically, saying they messed up the inclusion. Now, what he wanted them to do was what most outlets will do, is when they put a movie out, if somebody else played a character in the past, they will usually maybe try to Easter egg the actor into the movie somehow. Kind of like what they did with the actual voice actor of Mario in the movie. He had a quick cameo right at the start, if you caught it, and if you're a Mario fan, I'm sure you did. He wanted that for himself in this, and he didn't get it, probably because Nintendo's trying to distance themselves from that pile of shit as much as they can, so they didn't want to bring him in, because that would have made people think about that old pile of shit. It's an awful movie. The original directors are out there talking about it, too. Original directors were abandoned by Hollywood after the movie until Quentin Tarantino saved them. I don't count what they're doing as spiteful. John Leguizamo is for sure being spiteful. He's butthurt that they didn't bring it in. So he's out there saying the movie isn't diverse, basically calling it racist. So somebody asked him, and TMZ somehow talked to him. I don't know why they would, but they did. The actor told TMZ on the day the Super Mario Brothers movie opened in theaters that he won't be watching it due to the casting. By the way, the casting is for a mushroom, a giant turtle, two short, fat Italian, well, one's tall and skinny, but they look short to everybody else. Two white Italians and a princess in the Mushroom Kingdom. But it needs representation. No, I will not be watching. They could have included a Latino character, or a Latin character, Leguizamo said, like I was groundbreaking, and then they stopped the groundbreaking. They messed up the inclusion. They disincluded. Just cast some Latin folk. We're 20% of the population. The largest people of color group, and we are unrepresented. When asked again by TMZ if he'd be watching the movie, he said, hell no. And then they go on to point out here that he's said in several interviews, the big one back in November, where he said, I'm OG. A lot of people love the original. I did a Comic-Con in New York and in Baltimore, and everyone's like, no, we love the old one, the original. They're not feeling the new one. I'm not bitter. It's unfortunate. Oh, man, he is so mad about this. Like, he is spiteful about it. Like, who goes to see a Mario movie and say, man, I hope they have representation in this video game about a character who jumps on blocks and eats mushrooms and plants to get power-ups? He's so mad about it. I find it hilarious. He has no power or effect on it at all. He's just trying to attach himself in any way possible to it because nobody really remembers who he is anymore. And he's kind of run his name into the ground so much that nobody cares about him. Even Latinos get mad at him because he uses Latinx all the time. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comments below. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. Check out my Rumble and Locals, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Make sure to check out my Locals. There's a link in the description. It's a fun community that I'm trying to build over here. If you don't want to support me on YouTube, you can come over here. None of that money goes to YouTube. You also can just come over here for free. But if you are a supporter over here, I do plan on doing an extra live stream once a month and throwing links to the supporters so you can actually come on and have a supporter live stream with me. Also, it's a good place to catch all of my content. You don't have to worry about notifications like YouTube. They'll definitely work over here. So come check out my Locals.